Hey everybody, I'm going to talk to you about a big announcement today. AMD announced the release date and pricing for Ryzen, which is supposed to put them back on the map as far as CPUs go. They've been killing it with their ATI series graphics cards. Now they're tackling the CPU market for desktops and I believe mobile devices too. So stay tuned, we're going to talk about that. We're going to see, is it worth it and should you believe the hype train? Okay, so AMD today announced the pricing model for the Ryzen series CPUs. The base Ryzen 3 will come with an air cooler, whereas the Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 will not. So this is something that is kind of par for the course, even with your Intel stuff. The Intel stuff doesn't typically come with a cooler anymore. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking at doing a build. As far as pricing goes, the Ryzen 7, which is kind of the one that everyone's talking about, performance per core and per dollar, comes out March 7th worldwide on all shelves. It will be a 8-core 16-thread at 3 gigahertz and 3.7 on its boost. Okay, now the thing with Ryzen is it will clock up to whatever maximum frequency it can do as long as it has cooling. So it could potentially go higher, but we just don't really know for sure. There's a lot of hearsay, a lot of speculation about that. The price for that processor is going to be $329 United States dollars, so it's not a bad price. That CPU, in theory, should beat out, the Intels that cost $700 or $800. If you go up the next one, it's a 1700X. It's the Ryzen 7 1700X. That is also an 8-core 16-thread. It's 3.4 gigahertz on the base clock, 3.8 gigahertz on the boost clock. That is also going to be $399. It's going to be kind of in that under $400 price range. Now, for $100 more, you can get the Ryzen 7 1800X. Now, that CPU is an 8-core 16-thread, 3.6 gigahertz clock, base clock, 4 gigahertz boost clock for $500. Competitive Intel is going to be about $1,000 processor, so they're undercutting it by half. Okay, now if it holds true that these are going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, we could potentially see a very, very big price drop from Intel to make things more competitive. Now the thing I'm concerned about, and I think everyone should really realize, is that the people who've had access to these for now have been YouTubers, so they've been seeing what AMD wants them to see. They've been seeing them in test systems, they've been seeing them in this, and all these board partners are coming out with boards. That's great. But you have to understand a lot of this technology is new for them. This is a first try. So if you're planning to build a system right now, and you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, I would suggest waiting. And the reason I say that is you don't know how these processors are going to perform in a partner board in real world situations inside your case with your power supply and your system. BIOS support, driver support, things like that are also something to consider. Granted, CPUs aren't necessarily super finicky, but still, it's something to consider. Having done computer building for such a long time, I would definitely advise save your money, wait a while and see what comes out. Like if it comes out, that all the performance benchmarks that we're seeing right now are the real deal, and you're actually going to get that type of performance when you buy it, pounce on it. There's no doubt about that that's a good idea. But I'm going to say you're on the side of caution. The CPUs themselves, that's a bargain. I mean, if you have money burning a hole in your pocket and $500 is nothing, go ahead and build it. Screw it. What do you have to lose? But just know that you may not be getting exactly what you think you're getting. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. Again, March 2nd, the highest price on that CPU is going to be $500 compared to $1,000 for an Intel, comparable Intel. They go as cheap as $129. The Ryzen 3, which is a 4-core, 4-thread, 8 megabyte cache, 65-watt TDP, 3.2 gigahertz, 3.5 on boost, is going to be $129. So anywhere from $130 to $500. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes posted out there on the internet for real world reviews from real people like you and me. And, we'll see kind of what comes out from it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and have a great day.